Well, welcome back, everyone, to our daily devotion. It's always a joy to be with you. We've titled today's message, Focus on Being Generous, Not Greedy. Now, I know this is supposed to be, we're entering into the most wonderful time of the year, and we'll mention that a lot over the next couple of weeks together. But usually, people think that's code for getting. And really, our society has become obsessed with getting, whether it's getting something of a material nature, getting recognition, getting attention. And really, that flies in the opposite direction of many of the teachings of Jesus, especially a particular verse that is found outside of the four Gospels. In Acts chapter 20, in verse 35, this is what Jesus says: "It is more blessed to give than it is to receive." Now, talk about a countercultural principle right there. Again, we live in a me-first society. What could I get? Even raising kids today, I think, is far more challenging, not because of the technology and the perversion, although that is everywhere, we know that. I think because we're living in a culture that conditions children, and sometimes parents and grandparents and friends don't help the matter, but condition kids that, when am I getting the next this or the next that? And it's so vital that we're teaching our children at a young age, no matter who we are, whether they're our own children or grandchildren or children in the church, about the importance of giving. There's nothing wrong with getting something, but we don't want to be the type of Christian that grows up to be a brat. And churches are filled with brat believers. And you might go, how can that be? Well, just think about it. People come to church, what could I get? The worship, the seating, the lighting, the temperature in the building, the programs. What am I getting out of it? Now, there's nothing wrong with liking a church because of the tempo or the style of the programming or the music or the pastor and how they teach. Nothing wrong with that. Or certain things that the church offers that benefit your family. Amen. Wonderful. But if that's the driving reason for our fellowship with God at a local congregation, again, we're missing the point. That's a greedy mentality. The better way to think, the more Christ-like way for you and I to go about ourselves is not what I could get out of a church or get out of people or get out of God, but what could I give? And that's how we want to raise the younger generation. And that's how every generation needs to be. We want to be a people who are focusing on generosity, focusing on giving, instead of being so caught up in greediness and getting. It's been said in many different ways, but the highest level of living is what? Giving. Think about when you give and you use your gifts, your talents, and your abilities, how that makes you feel. There's a tremendous sense of satisfaction. Well, where do you think that comes from? Well, God created you to react to it that way. You feel better mentally and emotionally when you give something away as opposed to when you hog it and you hoard it. And that is especially true when it comes to talents, gifts, and abilities. You and I are living at a very productive spiritual clip when we are a giving people. And so as we begin to enter into this season of Thanksgiving and giving and gift sharing, when we put it all together, this particular portion of the calendar, let us recalibrate our focus on being a generous and giving person. And I'll leave you with this thought. You can never outgive God. As you put this verse into practice, don't think for a second heaven isn't noticing. God is looking to increase your responsibility, to make your bandwidth of blessing bigger. But how could he trust me? How could he trust you if we're too busy being selfish and thinking it's about us? Let us put that aside, and let us, especially this season, as we think about God giving his son, let us be the type of people who we ourselves, like God, are categorized as being people of generosity. Truly, it is more blessed to give than it is to receive. God bless you, and we'll see you next time.